If you take the modern world where people are trying to teach you how to come in and trade actively and stuff.
I want to teach you, I want to help you.
Well, I regard that as roughly equivalent to trying to induce a bunch of young people to start off on heroin.
Have you ever wondered if some of those get-rich-quick gurus are too good to be true? Well, you're not alone. Today we expose the world of these self-proclaimed experts, and joining us in this exploration is none other than Charlie Munger. He's the man who stood at the helm of Berkshire Hathaway for decades alongside the investing genius himself, Warren Buffett. In this segment, we're about to uncover some eye-popping truths about these so-called experts. So buckle up and prepare for some real insights. Before we dive into Charlie Munger's take on the world of fake gurus, let's get acquainted with the man himself. Warren Buffett, a name synonymous with successful investing, leads Berkshire Hathaway, a colossal $354.6 billion diversified corporation headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. And then there's Charlie Munger, born in 1924, the vice chair and second in command to Buffett. Munger's influence has been pivotal in shaping Berkshire into the diversified powerhouse it is today. From insurance to energy, transportation to manufacturing, his fingerprints are all over the company's success story. With more than 4 decades as Buffett's right-hand man, Munger's impact is undeniable. Not to mention, he also chairs the board of Daily Journal Corporation and has held significant roles in other corporations. As we venture deeper into Munger's perspective on fake gurus, remember that it's informed by a lifetime of financial wisdom and experience. Now, let's dive into the mind of one of the world's most successful investors and see what he has to say about these questionable experts. Charlie Munger said, quote, "If you take the modern world, where people are trying to teach you on how to come in and trade actively in stocks, well, I regard that as roughly equivalent to trying to induce a bunch of young people to start off on heroin. It's really stupid. And when you're already rich, to make your money by encouraging people to get rich by trading, and then there are people on the TV, another wonderful place, and they say, I have this book that'll teach you how to make 300% a year. All you have to do is pay for shipping and I'll mail it to you." How likely is it that a person who suddenly found a way to make 300% a year will be trying to sell books on the internet to you? He added, "It's ridiculous. And yet I've described modern commerce, and the people who do this all day think they're useful citizens, the advertising agencies who invent the lingo. In insurance, they say, the 2 people who shifted from Geico to Glott's insurance company saved $400 each. But what they don't tell you is that there are only 2 such people in the whole United States, and they were both nuts. But they mislead you on purpose. And I get tired of it, and I don't think it's right that we deliberately mislead people as much as we do." Charlie Munger's critical eye on the world of fake gurus pierces through the allure of quick wealth. His insights challenge our perception of easy success and cast a spotlight on ethical considerations. As we move forward, Munger's narrative takes us further into the mechanics of these experts. Let's delve into his story, painting a clearer view of how these gurus operate in reality. Quote, "This man has this wonderful horse, and it's just a marvelous horse. It's got an easy gait, good looking, and everything. It just works wonderfully. But also, occasionally it just gets so he's dangerous and vicious and causes enormous damage and trouble and breaks arms and legs for his rider and so on. And he goes to the vet and says, 'What can I do about this horse?' And the vet says, 'That's a very easy problem, and I'm glad to help you.' He says, 'What should I do?' The vet says, 'The next time your horse is behaving well, sell it.'" Well, think about how immoral that is. Munger continued, "Haven't I just described what private equity has to do? When private equity has to sell something that's really troublesome, they hire an investment banker. And what does the investment banker do? He makes a projection. I have never seen such expertise in my whole life as is created in making projections in investment banking. There is no business so lousy that it can't get a wonderful projection. But is that a great way to make a living? Have phony projections and use it to make money out of people you look right into the eyes of? I would say no. And by and large, Warren and I, we never tried to make money out of the stupidity of our dumb buyers. We tried to make money by buying companies. And if we were selling horse shit, we don't want to pretend it was a cure for arthritis." Charlie Munger stands apart with his honest approach. He gets both money and people. In a world of deceit, Munger's integrity shines. He's not just for himself, but for everyone, making him a true advocate of genuine success. Charlie said, "I think it's better to go through life our way, to live life our way instead of theirs. I think it's always been this way. I think there's always been chicanery. Think of the carnival, the carny operator. Think of how much trickery there is in a carny operation. And people just seek out the weaknesses of their fellow man and take advantage. And you have to get wise enough so you can avoid them all. And you can't avoid them if they're in your family. I have no solution on that one." He provides an example with the help of his own story, an incident that happened in his childhood. Munger continued, "My father, a lawyer, had this best friend and client, Grant McFadden. And he also had this other client who was a big blowhard. And he was always working for the big blowhard, and he wasn't ever working for his wonderful client whom I admired. And I said, 'Why do you do this?' And he said, 'Charlie, you idiot,' he says, 'the big blowhard is an endless source of legal troubles. He's always in trouble, overreaching and misbehaving and so forth. Whereas Grant McFadden treats everybody right, the employees, the customers, everything. And if he gets involved with some psychotic, he walks over there, makes a graceful exit immediately. So a man like that doesn't need a lawyer. And my father was trying to teach me something, and it really worked. I spent my whole life trying to be like Grant McFadden, and I want to tell you it works. It really works. Peter Kaufman is always telling me, if the crooks only knew how much money you could make by being honest, they'd all behave differently." Munger also appreciated the words of Warren Buffett. "You take the high road. It's never crowded." In an interview, Munger was asked how important it is to avoid mental biases when making decisions, and in his opinion, which bias is the hardest to overcome and how he prevents it. He replied, "If I had to name one factor that dominates human bad decisions, it would be what I call denial. If the truth is unpleasant enough, people, their minds play tricks on them, and they think it isn't really happening. And of course, that causes enormous destruction of business where people will go off on throwing money into the way they used to do things. It isn't going to work at all well in the way the world is now, having changed." For instance, he said, "If you want to see an example of how denial is affecting things, take the world of investment management. How many managers are going to beat the indexes? All costs considered, I would say maybe 5% could consistently beat the averages. Everybody else is living in the state of extreme denial. They're used to charging big fees and so forth for stuff that isn't doing their clients any good. It's a deep moral depravity." As we wrap up this exploration into Charlie Munger's insights, it's clear that his words hold substantial weight in a world teeming with questionable experts. Munger's willingness to expose the truth about these claims resonates deeply, reminding us all to exercise caution and critical thinking. Have you ever encountered the allure of these fake gurus? How did you navigate their promises? We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Munger's wisdom serves as a guiding light, urging us to always question, research, and make informed decisions. Remember, knowledge is power, and by staying informed and making smart choices, we can navigate the complexities of the financial landscape with confidence. If you found this journey through Charlie Munger's insights valuable and thought-provoking, don't forget to show your support. Give us a thumbs up to let us know that you appreciate this content. It goes a long way in boosting its visibility. If you're hungry for more enlightening discussions like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're always in the loop for our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to having you with us in the next discussion.